Instead of apologizing like mature adults, EA decides to try to put a spin on Dungeon Keeper Mobile. These are usually clean and kid-friendly, but not today, so if you have children around, cover their ears lest they be corrupted by a few four-letter words. Let me know how you feel in the comments below, but first, my opinion. I'm Tarmack, and this is Feature Creep. I'm a little bit torn on whether this one was just PR spin or whether Executive Vice President of EA Mobile, Frank Gibeau, actually believes the bullshit spewing forth from the EA public relations machine. In an interview with Games Industry International, Gibeau said, quote, "I think we might have innovated too much or tried some different things that people just weren't ready for," end quote. Gibeau appears to actually believe that EA is just leading the charge in innovation. Either that or the PR people managing his words are fucking idiots. Now, EA does like to play fast and loose with words, essentially making up their own definitions as they go. Demonstrations of EA games using pre-scripted cutscenes is described as gameplay. Games coming only to either one of the Xbox One or PS4 but still hitting mobile or PC are described as exclusives. And now, innovation, the idea of introducing new and improved iterations of existing concepts, has been twisted from all its original meaning to be applied to Dungeon Keeper Mobile. Let's be perfectly clear here. DK Mobile is a Clash of Clans ripoff using an old tried-and-true intellectual property. It uses the same timing mechanics, the same attack mechanics, the same defense mechanics, the same basic microtransaction mechanics, the same store mechanics, same minion mechanics, and the same resource mechanics. In fact, I'm willing to bet that they nailed down the kind of business model and how much money they intended to make before they even decided which intellectual property to drag into the whole thing. Other than artwork, there's only one single change and unique element that Dungeon Keeper Mobile has over COC. The game was intentionally designed to test players' patience in an even more blatant and disrespectful way in order to push in the direction of buying the fucking gems to actually progress. Even with the loosest definition of innovation that you can delude yourself into believing occurred, DK Mobile doesn't even register and is better served by the accurate term clone. Calling Dungeon Keeper Mobile too innovative is being stunningly full of shit. EA does, of course, win the envy of the industry by having the first free-to-play game legally forced to stop being called free in the UK due to the abusive microtransaction design. The Dungeon Keeper ad was deemed to be misleading by the Advertising Standards Authority. Oh, and of course it gets better. EA CEO Andrew Wilson, when talking to Eurogamer, made comments about misjudging the economy and that you need to put value to gamers above all else, whether at the $10, $100, or $1,000 level. There's quite literally nothing that EA has ever done with a value of $1,000 to the end consumer, and it's a real dickish move, but kind of funny how Wilson essentially said, "We thought you had more money to give us than you actually did." He also said that there was a disconnect, that they didn't do a good enough job walking the line of keeping the game true to the original while still making changes to keep it new and fresh. Of course they didn't walk that line. Anyone who's actually played the game can see that it's barely a game. Its design deliberately prevents you from playing it due to the timing mechanics, while constantly reminding you that if you would graciously open your wallet, you might get some actual gameplay. You don't build a great successful free-to-play game by paywalling content. You build a successful free-to-play game by making the gameplay so fun and engaging that players throw their money at you on their own. It is utterly disgusting that EA has yet to outright apologize for Dungeon Keeper Mobile. There is no redeeming the pile of shit by trying to push the blame of its failure into the gamers' laps by saying that they weren't ready for it. Weren't ready for what exactly? Weren't ready to accept the company overtly fleecing us? Weren't ready to accept a piss-poor rendition of a classic game with no heart or even consideration for its artistic integrity? Weren't ready for an overpriced clone of Clash of Clans? When EA fucks up, it's the consumer's fault for not getting their vision. What a load of ignorant nonsense that is. We certainly aren't ready to be lied to about what innovation means by a company that believes it's God's gift to video games. It simply turns out that the new EA management is just as shit as the old management, the company is entirely run out of the stock market, has no passion left, and frankly, if they turned up bankrupt tomorrow, we'd all be better off. Maybe then a good game developer or two could get a hold of some of these old lockdown licenses and do some really good work with them. It's fucking embarrassing, and I'm tired of the EA bullshit. Please do drop any comments you have below. Thanks for watching. That's all I have to say. Tarmack out.